What's good, my lovely peoples? It's your main man Solace here. I was working on something, right? So I was working on this little equation I was doing on the human body. I was trying to figure out the oxygen to the carbon, things of this nature. Because the body is an interesting thing, see, and the way they have us, the amount of time they have us living to, is interesting to me. So I was just, trying to put equations together to figure this thing out. Now, it's almost like a producer when he's making a beat and you see him adjusting the levels and he'll move one thing up, one thing down. Well, that's how it is with this. See, if you drop the oxygen, then it must be balanced out by something else, meaning something else must raise. But none of that matters. Don't worry about that. That's not for y'all. What is for y'all is when I was doing that, I noticed the interesting thing about the Fibonacci sequence popped in my head. Now, most of y'all should know the Fibonacci sequence. It's these two numbers make this number. These two numbers make that number. Those two numbers make that number. So 2 and 3, 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 plus 8 is 21. So this is how it goes. On forever. I stopped at 89. Now, it's an interesting thing though, because it keeps going, meaning, what's between 0 and 1? No spaces. So you get a 0. What's between 1 and 1? No spaces. So you get a 0. What's between 1 and 2? 1. What's between 2 and 3? 1. What's between 3 and 5? 2. What's between 5 and 8? 3. What's between 8 and 13? 5. So it's doing the sequence completely over again. It's a deep thing. The only difference is it's knocking off the 2 at the end and adding 2 zeros at the end. And it continues to do that all the way down. What's the spaces between 0 and 0? 0. Spaces between 0 and 1? 0. Spaces between 1 and 1? 0. Spaces between 1 and 2? 1. Spaces between 2 and 3? 1. So on and so forth. And you get a design. Now, the interesting thing about this is it doesn't even end there. See, it continues. See, 34 minus 21 is 13. You see that? 34 minus 21, 13. 21 minus 13 is 8. 13 minus 8 is 5. 21 minus 13 is 8. 13 minus 8 is 5. 13 minus 8 is 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. 8 minus 5 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So it does this interesting, beautiful pattern. But y'all have to understand, numbers are all designs. So it's a deep thing like I was telling y'all in the other video, but y'all don't pay me any mind. But it's even deeper than this, because you can subtract it and still get the sequence, meaning 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 5 minus 3 is 2. 8 minus 5 is 3. So on and so forth. Anyway, y'all ain't on my level. Let me get into this lesson. The lesson today is North Pole and South Pole. Now, we must understand, what is the North Pole and the South Pole? It is the northern and southernmost points of the Earth. Now, this is interesting that no one realizes this, but you have North Pole, you have South Pole. So it's just like a car battery. You have one pole, you have the next pole, negative and positive. Now, negative attracts positive, we know this. But what we don't realize about the North Pole and the South Pole is its energy. So this is a deep thing you must grasp. The North Pole of the planet and the South Pole of the planet is the negative and positive energy sources, you can say, of the planets. Grasp. Stay focused. Now the axis and the grid lines, these would be like the wiring. So it's like jumper cables. Hook one up to the North Pole, South Pole of the car battery, and then you do the same to the next car. So it's a simple thing. You have the axis, and then that the Earth planet supposedly spins on, and then you have the grid lines. Now, the deep thing is this, because all the planets in the solar system are connected in this way to the sun, which would be the energy source. So it is just like the power plant, and then you have everything that's running off the power plant. So this is how the solar system is set up. Now, what's the point? The point is this. Earth can be turned off or disconnected. It can even be replaced. So grasp what I'm telling you. It's like organ removal. You can remove an organ and replace it in the body. You can remove a planet and replace it with another one. Well, we can't, but you can interchange them or move one and replace it with whatever it is in the solar system, because it's all life. So the solar system is the body of the life, and the planet is whatever it is in the body. So you can replace it with the same thing. So it's a deep thing. You can completely shut and disconnect Earth off. You won't see the moon or the sun. So grasp. Now the North and South poles are guarded. We all know this. And that's truly why. So it's a deep thing you gotta grasp. It's almost like the story in... What's that video I did? It's almost like the story in the writings of Tahuti Thoth, when it was talking about the 32 elders. And they placed themselves basically by the spirit of Earth, the energy source of it. So it's a deep thing we must grasp. And it's the same with humans. We are connected to the Earth the same way the planets are connected to the sun in that same sense. Meaning, if you leave Earth, you'll disconnect. We all know that. So grasp, you can't live in space. But truly it's because you can't live off Earth. You're wired to it. Must grasp this. It's a simple but deep thing. That's why they say things are native to a planet. Because it's connected to the planet. It's a deep thing. We must grasp with understandings, man. When you're dealing with the Earth, you know you're dealing with energy. So it's no need to play with yourself on that. Now, if you know you're dealing with energy and you know you have a North Pole and a South Pole, which are opposites, and you have universal knowledge, understanding life in a whole, and its cosmics, all the way through to the innards of a body, because that's a world too. So if you have that understanding and you know everything is energy, and then you have North Pole, South Pole, so then you know that's negative and positive if you talking about them in terms of energy, because they're magnetic forces, but at the same time they're energy. So you have to grasp. You have grid lines. that move all through Earth. And then you have what we would call the, I forgot what it's called, the shield. Forgot the name, but that's what I like to call it. Because I see things in my mind as opposed to just reading things. So the shield, those are truly like the wirings to the next planet. So all the planets are connected through some sort of wiring. This is what we would call it, but it's not actual literal wires. But you can say it's cosmic wires. And all the planets are connected through these cosmic wires, negative and positive. So it's just like the lemon. You put copper and zinc in a lemon. You put the wires to that. You get another lemon, copper, zinc, which is negative, positive, South Pole, North Pole. Put a wire to that, connecting into that lemon, all the way to the source. So it's a simple thing, and all the planets are connected to one another in the same manner into the sun. So it's a deep thing. Now, if a planet doesn't have a north or south pole, that basically means it's off. So you have to grasp. You can't find the north or south pole energy is because the thing is off. So if a planet in our solar system doesn't have one, it's because it's not connected to the whole of the body. So it's a deep thing we must grasp. We must begin to grasp the physical and unphysical, because we only can understand the physical for some reason. Mind you, everything goes from unphysical to physical. So nothing became physical unless it was unphysical first. Now, I'm not speaking in the spirituality talking stuff y'all talk. I'm talking in the sense of life. Gas vapors, which are not visible, become, so you could say vapors become droplets. Droplets become water. So it's a simple thing like that, man. You have to grasp. Elements come together. When they do that, they cause a reaction to make them physical matter. Meaning you can see it now. It's like fire, like gas. When fire starts, it's the unphysical elements combustion together, creating what you can see now. So it's becoming physical from the unphysical. But that doesn't mean it wasn't what it was in the unphysical. So we just have to grasp, and we have to grasp perspective of size. And just understand, North Pole, South Pole, you can't live there, and people don't let people live there because you fuck around and cut the goddamn earth off by mistake. It's your main man, Solace. And this ain't no joke. This is all facts. Go research. Go talk to your scientist buddy you know. And lay this on him. And tell him to point out to you what part don't make sense. Because that's all that matters. Now you tell him, according to what he know about energy and electrical work and things of this nature, is what I'm saying far off of reality, or is it plausible? All on a perspective you looking at. See, scientists don't look at micro life and macro life as living beings. They only look at us as living beings. So micro cells within your body are not living beings to scientists. They're just micro cell life. And planets are not macro living beings to scientists. They're just planets. So you have to grasp. It's all a perspective of what you're looking at a thing. But we all know only life can support life. So if you live on the planet, then you better have a half a brain to know the planet is alive also. It's your main man, Solace. I got to eat my Captain Crunch, man.